Assalamu alaikum. I am Taminul Islam from Daffodil International University. My ID is 18115111116. Today I am going to present deadlock. Before starting my presentation, we have to know what is deadlock. If I am present a practical example of deadlock, then suppose I am driving a car in a narrow road and going towards, and in that situation there are actually another car is coming opposite of that narrow road. So after a few moments the position of two car is the same position. They are present at the same position. This is the my car and here is the another car. So no one can go towards. My car cannot go here and that car cannot go there. So it's called the deadlock situation. If my car will go back, then that car came towards, or that car will go back, my car will go towards. But we are not actually convinced. So this situation is the deadlock situation. So there is a practical example of deadlock. So here is the definition of deadlock. A deadlock is a situation in which two processes sharing the same resource are effectively preventing each other from accessing the resource, resulting in both programs ceasing to function. That means here is the two process, which is P1 and P2, and there is the two resources R1 and R2. P1 is already allocated with R1, but the process number 1 is requesting to resource number 2. He is requesting to R2, but R2 is already allocated with P2, but P2 is requested to R1. That means P1 said that I will execute if I will get the R2, but P1 is already allocated with R1, but already R2 is already allocated with P2, and P2 said that I will execute if I get the access of R1, but R1 is already allocated with P1. So this situation is called deadlock situation. So here is the necessary condition to occur a deadlock. First of all, it's a mutual exclusion. So there are the four conditions which needs to occur deadlock. Mutual exclusion means not shareable. There are means the only one process can use a resource at a time. Only one process can use a resource at a time. So no preemption. No preemption means a resource can be released voluntarily by process itself. A resource can release voluntarily a process itself. And hold and wait. It's a holding one resource and waiting for another resource. And lastly, circular wait. It means everyone is waiting for another thing. For P1 is waiting for R2 and P2 is waiting for R1. So these four conditions needs to occur deadlock. If anyone breaks, then deadlock cannot occur. So this situation is a deadlock situation because this four condition is including here. So here's the deadlock situation. So if we want to break down this deadlock situation, so we have to make false any one of this condition. So these four are the necessary condition to occur a deadlock. So if we want to break down the deadlock, so we have to make false this four condition or at least just one condition. So if we want to break down this deadlock, so we have to make false one condition. So we are going to false a mutual conclusion. So we know the mutual exclusion is the not shareable. Only one process can share, can use a resource at a time. So if we make false this condition, then we can break down the deadlock. So just share the resources. That means one resource can share one or more processes, P1, P2 or P3. So P1 and P2 if share R1, then we can break down this deadlock. So we learn what is deadlock, how to make a deadlock, and how to break down a deadlock. So thank you very much.